We live.
We
Live.
live.
What's good?
Oh, we got sound effects now in the
Yeah.
Ratchet
I
Robe
mean, this is
review.
what
Oh,
happens.
sure.
But this is what happens
It's coming up.
when you bring talent on. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Oh,
coming
okay,
up.
okay.
I'm saying? Y'all upgraded to a nice little co-host.
Is this an
Right?
upgrade because we have you here
Exactly.
today? Okay.
I mean, it's always a spectacle when I pop up on y'all. Of
Exactly. We
Okay.
love that we have you.
course.
What's good, tribe? Welcome to another episode of Ratchet Robe Review. We're actually at episode number 10. Can you believe
Oof.
that? I
Oof.
mean,
Yes,
damn.
we in
We
these
out here moving in the
streets.
streets. We
I
out
hear
here
ya.
moving in the
Moving and
streets.
shaking, reviewing.
Exactly. Of course, we'll call a Ratchet Robe Review because y'all see it. You see, it's got the robes on. I
Yeah,
mean,
see
come on
that
now,
shit.
Flash, come through.
Nah,
Oh,
hold on.
that okay? That's the man on the horse.
You see
Okay,
the
now
man.
I
You
see
see
the
the
man on the
man.
horse. I see the
Okay.
man on the horse.
All right.
Yes, TJ, I see you. So let me introduce you to my co-host for today. I'm gonna start off with TJ, who of course is a member of the Ratchet Robe Review. We know her as the Ice Queen because she's so icy. She all in one. Introduce yourself, Queen.
Hey, tribe. Oh, give my applause
Oh,
for
of
me.
course, of
Applause,
course.
please. Applause for me. Hey, tribe. It's your girl TJ, the unicorn Gemini, and I bring duality to the podcast. And we are a podcast, but we're also on Ratchet Robe Review, where we talk about, our episodes, just like Mo mentioned. But what up, tribe? I'm here.
Yes. Next, I'm so happy to introduce this individual who is sharing his light with us
Oh my
today. That's,
gosh.
of course, the bearded
Ah,
chocolate man,
ever here?
Flash the
Yes.
philosopher. Welcome,
Okay.
Flash.
Okay.
This
Welcome.
dark skinned nigga.
We letting him in. We letting it
Yeah.
in.
We
We
let him
letting
Nah,
you
in
in.
today.
yeah, I feel
We
like
let
I'm
him in
definitely in
today.
like the VIP club or some shit. This is where the cool kids come, apparently. Okay. so I'm
Facts.
Yes.
so I'm glad to be
Yes.
Yes.
here. But as always, today I am the boy in the polo yelling YOLO. Okay, it's your boy Flash the
Yes.
Philosopher. All right. It is
Hey.
me, it is I. What up?
What's up?
What
And of
up?
course, last but not least, I'm gonna introduce myself.
Woo!
Woo!
Talk about
Yes.
it.
Yes, of course. I am Mo, aka the Clarity Queen. I
The extra
always
finest.
represent, and of course, I hail from Co-op City,
Oh,
Section
you
5.
know it.
Don't ever zone my shit.
Ever,
You already know what
ever.
it is.
Facts.
Definitely, definitely. So, guys, before we jump into the episode, TJ, just let people know where they can find us at really quickly.
Yes, tribe. You
Yes,
can find us everywhere you hear podcasts. We are a podcast.
yes, we
Apple
are.
Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio.
All that good
And
shit.
then you can go all the way over to our social media. On IG,
Mhm.
we're at So Ratchet Podcast. On TikTok, we're So Ratchet Podcast. On Twitter, we're So Ratchet Pod. And right here on YouTube, where you're at right now,
Send me a
So
DM.
Ratchet Space Podcast. Hit the follow button right now. Hit the share button right now. Hit the notifications button right now. Hit the like button right now. Yeah, hit all the buttons for us,
All of them
okay?
shits like a
All of
piano.
them.
All of it, all of
Right.
it,
Thank you,
all of it.
tribe. Thank you, tribe.
Appreciate it.
Definitely. I just want to say, y'all see TJ over here in her shades, baby. She
I
is
know
she,
she
she is
she
not
she's very
playing.
she's very movie
This
starish.
is what we about to do. It's about what we about to talk
I
about right
mean,
now. It's about what we
definitely.
about to
Exactly.
talk about. That's why.
Exactly. So, of course, today we're talking about the best man, the final
Yes.
chapters. It was a
Yes.
series, baby.
Yes.
Let's get into
Yes.
the series and
Yes.
everything about
Yes.
it.
I'm here for it.
Yeah,
Look,
I'm here for it.
look,
I'm here for
look. You
it.
know, I was dedicated to this.
We ready.
I told y'all I watched the last episode this morning.
Oh, so it's
Within
fresh.
yeah, so I had to study for my test and shit. I was sitting here like I can't fail the exam today. Okay, I'm here. So I did my homework.
Yes,
I
I'm
did my
glad you
We
homework.
did
got
your
some
homework.
juicy questions for you guys, tribe. This is gonna be
Yes.
good.
All
Mm.
right. So we can go with any question. Let's start off with, we all watched the series.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start off with who had the most growth in the series. What did y'all think about that?
Hmm.
I'll say for me, and this
Mm-hmm.
is Flash, of course. I think in my mind, I think Morris Chestnut. For me,
Ah,
and,
good.
and Morris Chestnut, he plays Lance, which is the football
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
player,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not because I guess like he's such a big star, but I do feel like when I'm looking at the series as a whole, in terms
Mm-hmm.
of like all the different things that he had to deal with, whether it was like
Mm.
the
The
shit with
death of his
Harper,
wife.
the death of
Yeah.
his wife, the cancer, the kids, the
His
Yeah, him
family,
child.
having it.
the
Yeah.
Yes,
fucking
being a
the
celebrity.
groupies, right? Everything. Like
Yes.
Hmm.
he's
Wow.
had so much in his life, and yet I guess like just looking at the series is how he still stayed connected to these friends throughout all this transition and being able to, you know, count on his friends not only in his time of needs but just through all the shit he's been through. I feel like the
Hmm.
even how they pulled in the you know, the issue with his son, or
Yeah, the
whatever, as far as
non-binary.
Right.
non-binary thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I feel like that's growth because it showed even how he kind of almost had to challenge like religion as he know it, and you know, and stuff like
Hmm.
that. So for
Right.
me, I
And
would just feel
culture
like,
and what we do in society as a black culture.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, don't do that. Take that shit off. Like, I
right,
ain't, maybe you need to go to church. Like, pray it
right,
out of you.
Right.
So yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So he had
All
to
right.
grow a lot for me in this series. So I kind of like enjoyed seeing, especially when he was doing all like the
Mm.
fucking when he first got to the island and
I knew
shit.
you loved that
I
Yes.
was,
part, Flash.
I was sitting
Your
here like, this
ass
is the
loved that
land.
part.
Yeah, this is the nigga I was trying to see. Like, but yeah,
Oh
I'm
gosh.
super happy for his growth though throughout all of this,
Okay.
and still to
TJ.
That
come
was
back
a
to
really
love, and still to come
Yeah.
back to love.
yes,
You know.
Yes, yes,
yes,
yes, yes. That's true.
yes. Hmm.
Um,
Who do you have?
it was a hard one. And it might shock people, but you know who I think had a lot of growth? Shelby.
Who?
Shelby.
Really? And I'm channeling Shelby right now. That's why I have
Shelby
Oh,
the
had a
Versace
lot of
thing.
growth to me in a sense because she really came to realization that she was in love with Quentin. And
Okay.
when they got married and when she really was his wife, she really was a wife. Like she cared for
She
her
really was a
husband.
wife.
yeah,
She
Hmm.
like she really was a wife. And I think we've never saw Shelby in that character of, she's
right.
always been like either the side chick or trying to be after somebody's man initially, because that's how she started. She was,
And she's
Quentin
super
was,
ratchet,
yeah,
but
she's ratchet.
sophisticatedly ratchet.
Right,
Right,
Yeah.
because
right.
Quentin was with the late with
A
his wife that he was
Kamora.
gonna
Was it name
Kamora,
Kamora?
yeah, Kamora, right,
Kamora.
with
Whatever.
who he was gonna marry at first, but then Shelby realized like, nah, like I really love this dude. And as a wife,
Hmm.
I seen her growth. I see how she was connecting, with Quentin and his father when they was
Hmm.
going, when they was going through their issue.
Hmm.
Well, Mr. Wellington, I think that was his name, Mr. Wellington, which is Quentin's
The
father.
father.
And
Hmm.
yeah, and so I felt like she had a lot of growth. I enjoyed her. I enjoyed her in this series. I feel like she did have some growth there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you though, Mo. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I enjoyed. I didn't see the whole shit coming with her and Quentin as
Yeah.
far as even the
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
marriage. I personally thought she was gonna lose the
Yeah.
battle with Kamora, whatever her name is or
Me
whatnot.
too.
I'm
Me
saying here like I'm
too.
saying like she's going too hard,
Hard.
and
Yep.
this man is supposed to try and be happy, but you know,
Hmm.
I guess like not knowing kind of what they had in the background or how they, how they function. It's like you're built to see like that this might not even be a thing, or like how the fuck can this even work, and just to kind of understand like she had a deeper level, even when she was doing the debate shit on the show. I was sitting
Mm-hmm.
here like, oh yeah, she's learning how to
Her character is
challenge that.
developed. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Develop.
Hmm.
Yes.
Where she's
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
on that network as a debater, as
As a
opposed
right,
to
debater.
just a
Yes.
reality star.
right,
Yes.
Correct. Yep.
yeah.
Absolutely. TJ,
Yo,
what
yo,
do you think?
go
Oh,
ahead,
go
sorry.
ahead. No, it's fine.
So I loved who you guys chose. I actually feel
Mm-hmm.
like, can I choose two people? Because I just feel like I just want to do me.
Oh
Go ahead.
gosh.
So I'm definitely going to choose Nia Long, which was Jordan, and I'm also going to choose Sanaa Lathan, which is Robin Stewart, or she played Robin,
Right,
right?
Mm-hmm.
right, right.
And the reason why I chose Robin was because I feel like in the previous episodes, she was just like a friend of a friend, because they were all friends and she came in because of her relationship with Harper, you
Mm,
know?
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt like she was kind of always on the outside in, but then trying to find her way in a little bit. I didn't feel like she really had her own. It was like whatever Harper wanted to do, you know? And I think that really portrayed in this show where she felt like,
Mm-hmm.
I do everything for you. I don't do anything for me. And like the things that I want to do, you don't have any energy to. And just seeing how she developed her character. And I just felt like, I felt sad for her a little bit because
mm,
as women, sometimes you do take the back seat and you allow your husband to lead, especially if he's in the limelight already.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And then she had a kid, so then you're focusing on the kid, but then you have your own career, and she's doing really well with her career as well.
Mm-hmm.
And your marriage is not doing the best because you're coming into your own, but it's not fully reciprocated because your husband's been this celebrity for such a long time. So I feel like I wish that she could go into her own, and you could see her flourishing into her own, womanhood as a wife, as a career entrepreneur, restaurateur, and a mother, like all the titles. I just wish that she was able to stay a wife too. Like, I was really sad that now that you got to this level, unfortunately something had to go, and it had to be your relationship, because it seemed like they could have made it work, in my opinion. So I feel like that was a lot of growth.
Yeah, I think I saw her getting like just tired of being a wife.
Second. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
second.
And one of the things I guess that we saw in the beginning was that she's always been supportive to Harper. She's always been there. She's
Yeah.
always loved him, and we've never actually seen what she's passionate about. We got so many people on here that have their careers and everything going for them,
Yeah.
and she definitely had to be one of those characters that kind of just took a back seat to her husband's life, and the fact that yes, he can provide and all this other stuff. But then I saw like the breakdown where it's like when she gets excited about something, and she had the opportunity to open up the
that restaurant.
right, correct, the
Yeah.
homeboy was
Harlem.
showing her, it was like you
You gotta
understood
act.
how
Yeah.
important this was for her, and yet once again your dream was taking the main role, as opposed to let her figure out also like what her passion is, or like what she wants to be drawn to. So yeah,
Right.
part of me felt very sad for her character in the middle of it all, but I do love the fact that at the end of the day she found or something to chase, or that purpose that she was chasing, and I'm personally happier for that, because once again this is just part of the growth
Right.
thing. So
Absolutely. All right.
I also felt like, real quick though, Mo, because I did pick Jordan too, but I
Yeah.
did feel like with Jordan, I just wanted to say that they were saying that they are a half a century years old. So they're now 50 years old, and just having
right,
their perspective come up at, of who they are now as a person at 50 years old. And for Nia Long, Jordan, go ahead. What?
I was gonna ask, like with Jordan though, did she really want to have a kid at 50? If
That's
like
what I'm
this,
Right.
saying. It's
That's
like
right. Yeah.
we waited so long, and that's why I felt like she had a lot of growth, because she was career, and you could see that like her body's
right,
failing her. She thought she may be having a
right,
child, and she really did want a child, but you
Child.
put
Yeah.
so much things in front of
right.
like the things that you may have really, really wanted, and it was So I felt like Jordan, and those were the two people that I felt
Right.
like had the most growth. All right, I'm done.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go on to the next question. And we just kind of talked about Robyn. And I want to know, how do you guys feel about Robyn taking her and Harper's child to Africa? Or even out of the
Oof.
country?
That's my response.
I
Do
have
you
a
agree? Do we
feeling.
agree, disagree, or sophisticatedly ratchet?
Yes. Do we agree? Let's ask. Do we agree, disagree, or sophisticatedly ratchet?
Oh
And try, these are
man.
burner questions. We do this.
Yes.
It's on our podcast. Like I said, we have a podcast called the Sophisticatedly Ratchet Podcast, where we ask you a question. You get to answer it in 3 ways. So yes, no, or sophisticatedly ratchet. It's a game that we play on the podcast. All right. And we're bringing it to Ratchet Robe review. So go ahead, Mo's question, and let's put our answers up. Oh, damn. Okay. And so Mo says nah. Flash
I
says
say
nah.
no.
And I
Flash says nah.
sophisticatedly
Sophisticatedly
ratchet. So
ratchet.
Yep.
you lead your question, Mo. What you think? Why?
I said no only because I felt like, I would appreciate it maybe if Robyn would have went first, situated yourself first and down there, and then maybe, we can have a discussion about our daughter going there. But in my opinion, she just took it upon herself. Like in the beginning, you didn't really ask. It was just like, oh well, we're going to Africa. Excuse you. This is
Right.
our child, and I
Right.
just feel like, especially little girls, they already grew up without their father. So for you to move her to a completely different country, who at the time he was an active father. She got up one morning and was like, "Where's daddy?" He didn't, he's waiting for her waffles that her father would make. So for
Right.
me, that was just kind of like, you're wrong for that. I'm sorry. I understand you want to fulfill your dream and everything like that, and I have no issue with that. But go settle yourself first. Then let's go down together and let's see how she gets accustomed to that. But to move a child from where they're, from America to now go to Africa, that's a big deal as
That's
well.
big. That's
And
definitely big.
that's definitely a big deal. And of course, she's like her mom. She's like a humanitarian, and
Yeah,
so
she's super
you
cute.
saw you saw that she was her mom, and I think that's what Harper realized. Like, yo, like she's her mother's child, and I get that. But I just didn't like at first, like how she kind of just like without even any regards. Like, well, yeah, she's just coming with me.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
appreciate the fact that she did
Mhm.
blindside Harper, especially
With
like
Yeah.
the whole uh
the divorce
divorce.
thing. Yes,
I
Divorce.
agree.
and
Yeah.
I feel like that. And granted, maybe Harper is good for bringing up surprises on her, and maybe he's put her
Mhm.
through
Mm-hmm.
a bit. I get that, and I just felt like that was a piece of like her trying to get a little bit of revenge in the sense of like you like spraying shit up or
Yeah,
whatever the
you felt
case
like it
is.
was
Yeah,
revenge.
yeah. Like let me just like jab you real quick and let you know, like
Oh,
boom, you know.
Mhm.
So because I
yeah.
know he was down, you know, and I felt that even when he came to her about the move, right? You know, they were talking about moving from Brooklyn to I forget where they moved to or whatever the case is.
I
I
think
think
But
it's
Harlem or
Harlem to
Manhattan.
Harlem to the lower side of Manhattan. They were moving
right,
to, I
Mm-hmm.
believe.
right.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
there was a breaking point though where it's like Harper came
Mhm.
to her and he really like was like, "Hey, baby, do you really want to do this move?" You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And yes, once again, she did it for him, for the
Mm-hmm.
man and whatnot.
Mhm.
But I do feel like that should have been maybe one of her selfish moments, and seeing how she liked to have her selfish moments when it needs be. It's like no, she should have probably just said, you know what, fuck it, I don't want to move, Harper. I want to stay where there's
Yeah.
a place of happiness. Let me get a win. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm mad that when he came to her with that, it's like you didn't take that proposition, but then you still had an issue with it later on, saying, or when she was throwing her tantrum and whatnot, and she was like, she didn't
Mhm.
even want to fucking be here and shit. It was like,
Right.
why'd you even put yourself in a predicament when you know you could have kind of slowed that down, or at least like take away from how upset you would have been. So
Mhm. Wow.
I don't know. It was
TJ.
messy
Wow.
for me.
Yeah. What's your you said
I put
sophisticated ratchet.
sophisticatedly ratchet. I don't like the way she looped it in with the divorce.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I also because I think it did blindside Harper for sure.
Mhm.
I do agree that there's a way that she could have done it. And like Mo
Right.
suggested was, hey, get everything set up and
Hmm.
Mhm.
maybe it be because it's a huge culture shock for a child to move to
Yes.
a
As
whole
far
nother
as shit,
country away
Yeah.
from all
yo,
family and friends. It was just a
TJ,
lot
I shit you
Mhm.
not. I cried when my mom moved from Brooklyn to us moving to
to
Queens and shit.
Queens.
And that's just a motherfucking borough. Okay. I cried
Right.
though. 'Cause in my
Right.
mind, I'm sitting
Yeah.
here like I will never see my friends again. I'm
Again.
talking about
Right.
Oh,
Africa.
Mhm.
This is more than friends to me. This is like family and a whole bunch of shit. But I digress. That's you though. Sorry.
Yes.
no.
That is
I
okay.
agree with you. I agree.
Mhm.
That's okay. We welcome that. But no, I agree. I just feel like there's a way that she could have done it. So that's why I was sophisticatedly ratchet.
Right.
Um, and yeah, I think that's it. I think Harper handled it the best that he could. I
Mhm.
think that he broke down,
Absolutely.
allowing
Yeah.
her to go at the end.
Mhm.
And I just felt like it was a little much. It was a
Right.
little
Yeah.
much for me.
Yeah, I agree. All right. So let's move on really quickly. Who do we feel had the hardest lesson to learn?
This is easy for
Mm.
me.
Me
I'll
too.
start.
Yeah, go
The
ahead.
Lance.
Oh, Lance. Okay.
Oh, you were gonna say something different? I thought we were all
Yeah.
gonna have the
I said that.
same.
I have two. I have two.
Who
Yeah.
who's
Go
your
ahead. Go
all
ahead.
I'll,
right,
I'll
I'm
take
a
Lance and Harper for me, and Harper.
okay, what's your splash?
Mm,
Mm.
Hardest lesson.
Harper. Yeah. Hardest lesson.
wow. Damn.
I did too.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I love this question so much. And I want to say Lance is like
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
obvious
I thought
answer.
everybody's gonna say Lance.
Mm-mm.
Right.
I
But
was
I
gonna say
feel
Harper.
damn.
Mhm.
Part of me thinks Harper had some of the
Harper.
hardest
Yeah.
work because
To
I feel
me.
like
Mhm.
Harper had the biggest, not that he had the biggest ego all the time, but
Mm.
part of me
Yeah.
understands like his drive in terms of just like, hey, I want to be this person who's able to provide for my family. He has
Mm.
all this work that he's trying to do, maybe for just status reasons or whatever the case is, but there's always something that's pushing him onto, I guess, just the bigger thing for himself, his name, and maybe even his legacy or whatever he's trying to leave. But at
Yeah.
the same time, it's
Yeah.
like you're chasing so much of your dream. It's like that you're also losing some of the dream that you
That's what I
once
said.
wished
Mhm.
for. You know what I'm saying? And you're watching your shit dwindle away, and now it's affecting you on a deeper level, honestly. So I feel like
What specifically dwindling away though?
as far as his family, his marriage, his probably relationship that he wanted to have with his daughter, the things that he
Mhm.
saw himself
Gotcha.
doing and completing in life, and now it's like these things are separating themselves from the person he's trying
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
I think in Harper's mind, he didn't see any of that shit changing. He
Nope.
he
Mhm.
saw himself as being the man with
The
the wife who's
Top
gonna
author.
selling. Yep.
author
Author, top
with
selling author.
with the wife who's gonna move everywhere with him and support him
Mhm,
and you
mhm,
know in the gender role that he feels like she needs to fit in as the
mhm,
wife and the he'll support you, but
Mm-hmm.
baby you let me lead and whatnot. And I feel like that's a lot of fucking relationships, honestly, with just
mhm,
how sometimes men, I don't want to say men just lead the household like that, where it's like, baby, you're gonna just do whatever I do, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
women do look to a lot of their counterparts as far as men who lead the house for a vision or to lead in a certain direction. So I understand like the pressure maybe that he was putting on himself, but at the
mhm.
same time, it's like the lesson, losing your family. I feel like that's something. Even
That
if
was
this
a
stays in the
hard
bag,
pill to
That's
swallow.
hard.
Like, why he
Yeah.
right,
had to lose everything?
right,
Right.
yeah,
I
TJ,
hate
what? Yeah.
that.
What was your
yeah,
answer? And then I'm gonna answer after you.
I
yeah.
mean,
Go
I'm
ahead.
I know
just
you
gonna
said
say
Lance. You said
Lance.
Lance. Yeah, you said Lance.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you see him, Mo just cut your ass the hell off, right?
Yeah,
But
No,
I
I didn't
know.
mean to cut him off like that,
No,
but
I was done, but
but
I
he
was in
was
my
finished. That's
feelings a
how I
little
felt like. Sorry.
bit.
I didn't mean to cut you off though,
the
Flash.
Clarity
Honestly.
Queen don't play even on the
No,
Ratchet Robe review,
I
okay?
didn't mean to cut Flash off. Don't say that about
I'm
me.
just joking. I'm just
I
joking.
know. No,
No,
I'm joking.
definitely for me, it was Lance. I just feel
Mm-hmm.
like he had to deal with, being a celebrity as a black kid. That's already
Mm,
hard,
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, being married as a celebrity is another thing, like because there's women all
everywhere,
around you.
everywhere.
And then you lose your wife, and like you're this single father, and Mia was like the perfect wife. She's taking
Mm,
care of the kids. I don't even remember her ever having a job.
mm.
Yeah, I
what
don't think
did
she
what
was.
did Mia do?
She
I
was
think
like a stay at home. She was a
she
stay
was
at
a
home
stay
mom
at
for
home
But
Myra.
mom.
that's
Yeah.
what Harper
Yes.
wanted. That's what Harper wanted.
That
Harper
Yeah.
was
wanted
what
than
Harper
me.
wanted, that.
Yeah.
He did, and maybe that's
She
why
took
he
care of the
fucked
household.
Mia.
Like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He did fuck Mia though.
Mm,
Well, he had
But
a
anyway.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so like, yeah, I just feel like he had to deal with that. Then he had to deal with the loss of his wife and being a full-time father, and then like
Mm-hmm.
going into retirement after that last, him, being the celebrity football player to just dad, and he's trying to figure out what's next for him. Am
right.
I a
Mm-hmm.
commentator? Am I going to be doing something else? Like you could feel
Mm-hmm.
he was like in limbo. What do I do now? Like, yeah, I'm a dad, but what do I do now that I don't have football? Because football
Right.
was my life.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then having to deal with his son going through the
Mm.
whole gender
Identity thing.
issues,
Yeah.
identity issues,
Right.
being non-binary was a lot, and how you
Mm.
deal with that, as a black
Right.
man. And then having a midlife crisis where you just want to fuck all these bitches
Because
because they're
bitches.
not your
Mm-hmm.
wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do I see a woman as a wife now?
Mm-hmm.
Because now that
Right.
Mia is gone, and this is a 50-year-old man. They're now in their 50s. It's so dope to see them,
Mm.
throughout
Yeah.
the years. But yeah, I'm complete with Lance. What do you say,
All
Mo?
right. I said Harper and Lance. I'm gonna talk about Harper
Okay.
first. I think Harper
Okay.
had the hardest lesson to learn because he was just fixated on his career. Um,
Mm,
it's like certain instances in there. I kind of saw the selfishness with Harper
very,
when
very
his
selfish.
when his wife and child was in a damn cold in the house. Like,
Mm.
at what point, you know what I mean? Did you try to alleviate that situation? And I know you were out of town, but also
Mhm.
Robyn really wanted the restaurant.
I thought she was gonna cheat multiple times, didn't you
Me
think?
too, because she
Well,
was
I
looking at
thought she
that
was.
man. I thought, and I think that's when and for me, when I saw that, I said, she's out of the marriage because now she's actually feeling
Is
something
like
and looking
for
towards somebody else.
somebody
Because
else.
throughout the whole series,
Mhm.
and even when they were together, you never saw her bad at eye anybody. We knew Harper
Mhm.
always was dealing with Jordan, but to see her do that, I was like, oh, she's about to be gone because
I
now
actually thought she was
mhm,
gonna sleep with the girl at
at the
the
resort, at
yes,
the
the
resort,
girl, the chef,
Sure.
the
the other
chef, the
chef.
chef.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
like, oh
oh,
my
oh.
God,
Yeah,
she
Okay,
going gay.
okay,
She
okay.
going gay. Oh my God,
yeah,
she going gay.
yes,
I
the
thought
chef.
I was thinking that. I was thinking that too. But
Yeah,
okay.
I thought that
Good
at first because
point,
I was
Mo.
trying to figure.
Good point.
I was trying to figure that out. I was like, is this gonna go left, or
Uh-huh.
she really likes her cooking, or does she like her cooking?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but it didn't,
Facts.
right? So I was like, okay, that was good. And Lance for me, so that was
Mm,
so definitely Harper. And Lance for me, I would say he had the hardest lesson as far as his son
mm.
realizing that yes, and that was your only son too, so I get it.
Ugh,
But yeah, it
legacy.
was
Last
legacy.
name.
You were so fixated on football that you missed the signs in a sense as a parent, and whether you was traveling or deep in your grief. And I think it was a hard lesson for him to learn. Like, yo, like my son really doesn't want to play football. Like, he is now
Because you
this on
expect your
you
son to play
expected
football,
that.
and he was
That's
good at
all.
it too. It's
He
not
was
like he was
good too.
bad.
Nah, he was good too, and
He
that's
was
what it was.
good.
I think so. I think part of his soul was crushed when he realized his son didn't want to play football. And another and a hard lesson for Lance to learn too, or why I feel like he had the hardest lesson to learn is that he has to allow people. 'Cause one thing about Lance, he doesn't allow people in. Like yes, Mia's their
Mm.
mother, but Jordan also played a role too. Jordan, they
Yes, she was the
confided in Jordan.
godmother.
She was a godmother, and Jordan, and his son really confided in Jordan. That times he may have felt that Jordan overstepped her boundary because he cursed her out.
Yeah.
But I think he
Mhm,
was just in the heat of the moment. He was in his rage and whatever else may be.
mhm.
And so I think those two really had the hardest lesson
Yeah.
for
What you
me.
saying,
Yeah.
Flash? What's coming
No,
up for
I
you?
Hmm.
no. When you was talking about that, I was just laughing at Quentin Terrence Howard
Yes, I love
character.
Yes, I
Quentin.
loved
when
his
Yes,
character
I love his
too.
character.
when he discovered that LJ was non, what he said, he's like
Yes,
Binary. Yeah,
non-binary
binary.
he was
about
like,
it.
"Oop, let me just
Okay.
exit out this room real quick."
Room.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the way how he was trying to figure out and ask everybody, he's like, what the fuck is non-binding
Binary.
Mary
Yeah.
and all
Non.
this other shit.
Yes.
And I don't know. It's just that I number one, that's one of my favorite characters in the movie. I really, really
Yes.
Of
enjoyed his
course you
I
character.
love
would.
Quentin.
What character do
Yeah.
you feel like you related to the most? And I feel like I could see you as Quentin Flash for
Nah,
sure.
I'm a mashup though. I see
You're
Mm-hmm.
between
myself,
Masha and Harper.
yeah, all the way, all the
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
way.
Yeah.
That
Flash
is
the
me. Like if
philosopher.
you
Okay.
put them two niggas together, that is me.
Who? Quentin and Harper.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
you
That's.
like sex and you
Mm-hmm.
like,
yeah,
like the poetry,
Mm-hmm.
the
yeah,
philosophy,
yeah.
philosopher.
I'm like peace, but I'm also like driven as fuck. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
I
Okay.
don't know.
I feel like I'm a mashup between Shelby for sure. I'm channeling Shelby
Mm-hmm.
today, but I also feel like I'm a little bit of Jordan
Mhm,
and a little bit of Robyn too. Like I like to
Mm-hmm.
be homey. I like to be like
Mm-hmm.
a mother, hands-on mother. That's like my goal. I really do want to be a mom. I
mhm,
like Jordan. I like her passion. And I feel like I relate to her because I'm just getting older and I don't got no kids yet. It's like, and I'm
mhm.
watching all
Mm-hmm.
my friends around me with their kids. I'm like, oh
Mm-hmm.
my gosh, like, am I gonna be like this?
Right.
Like
Mm-hmm.
the auntie and the godmom.
Yeah.
And then I also feel like I'm a little bit Shelby because I like to be sophisticatedly ratchet.
Mhm,
And
Mm-hmm.
she had a lot of substance to her, believe it or not. And I think
Yeah.
people didn't know that she had that substance to her, and she was able to show the different aspects of herself as
And
she,
that's why I said to me she had
got
the
to
most
different
growth.
levels.
yeah, I
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
agree.
So
That's why I
yeah.
said she had the most growth in my opinion. I don't
Okay.
know
What
who.
about
I
you?
don't know who. I don't
That
know.
I
mash
see
us
a
I
up,
little
see the.
mash
Jordan
us
in
up.
I
you
see a little Jordan. I see a little Jordan,
because
and
you
I
work
see
a
a little.
lot.
I work a lot. I see a little bit of Candace as how I envision myself. I felt like Candace was like kind of like a fun mom in a sense, like
She is
well, a fun wife,
cute.
like a fun. She was cute, like a fun wife, I should say, not a mom, a wife.
Okay.
Fuck
She
them
Okay.
was,
kids.
yeah, like fuck them kids, right? And I feel like that's some shit I would say. I'd be like, yo, fuck them kids, like they fit to be off.
Oh,
But
man.
that's why it's hard for me. But I feel like Jordan, and I don't know,
Candace.
and
Okay.
not even yeah, and not even Jordan so much, but Jordan, yes, as far as work aspect, like just and
Hmm.
also in regards to like her being a mother. That's the situation I'm going through. We're getting older, so I would say that a little bit of everybody, a little bit of everybody.
Yeah.
All
Mm.
right. So,
Okay.
TJ, you were saying there were some reviews on Twitter. We could touch on that
Oh, let
really
me
quickly.
pull up my Twitter. Shout out to
Yeah.
Slim J because Slim J is the one that pointed this out to me.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted her to be on this Ratchet Robe review, but she was not able to make it, so it's all good. But she gave me this like Twitter post that I was like, "OMG, this is
Mm-hmm.
exactly how I feel." I'm
Yeah.
going to read the Twitter post to you guys right now. So it said, "The best man, final chapter, has every topic imaginable:
Yes.
ADHD, plant based medicine versus
Mhm.
pharmaceutical, successful Black women prioritizing their career over personal life versus self care, the midlife crisis, health issues." LGBTQ, non-binary, divorce, police protesting, gentrification, and then you go to the comment section and people are going in. Oh, thank you for putting that up, Flash.
Yes.
See if it pays to have you on the episode. Welcome, King.
Got you.
Um, no, but the comment section is hilarious. Like they're going in. They're like, it's just too much. It's too
Right.
Mhm.
much. Um,
It
how
is
did you
too
guys
much.
feel about this Twitter uh post? And like, did you agree? Do you agree, disagree, or are you sophisticatedly ratchet?
I um I agree. I
You think it was
Yeah.
I
too
feel
much,
like it
Mo?
was a lot. It
No,
was a
no, I
lot.
don't feel like it was a lot, but to me, not in a bad way. Meaning it was a lot because that's what we're really. That is
What Black
exactly what
people
the hell
are
is going
going
on.
through.
That's what's going on in the
Right,
world. So
right,
it was a
right.
lot to. It was a mashup in the series addressing everything that went on. Absolutely, but do I feel like it was too much? Absolutely not, because this is the
Mm,
reality. And whether we want to talk about the reality or not, all of this stuff is going on. Whether it's not happening at one time per se, but all this stuff has been going on. We looked at Merch, who dealt with the police issue, where he was trying to, when he hailed the cab first, and of course the white lady was a Karen, and
Uh-huh.
put on her performance. So you saw everything. We saw non-binary, we saw divorces, we saw Nia getting up there in age, trying to have a child and maybe not being able to, also dealing with health issues. We also saw Quentin, which is where, if you think about it, dealing with his father and
mm-hmm.
The
his
Alzheimer's
and his
issue.
father deteriorating in a sense.
Yeah,
So you're dealing with so much real life stuff that's going on. So it was a lot, but was it negative for me? No, because it's
yeah.
shit that people is really going through.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with sophisticatedly ratchet because I
Ratchet.
like the fact that there was
Mm-hmm.
so much going on. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we have to understand that we do have like our own center of the universe that we're so concerned with,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very easy to kind of have tunnel vision on, just your thing. So I love the fact that we got to see so many characters. Number one, so many great black actors. Number
Mm-hmm.
two, and like all the things and the nuances that come with their life, because everybody could think just everything is one way, and it's wild when you know everything happens so sporadically. It's like Quentin, I'm sorry, Terrence, yeah, Quentin has a heart attack out of nowhere and shit, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
while this was going on, this whole aspect of
The
Harper trying to put
divorce
it,
is going on, and
yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I love the fact that everything is letting us know like there's chaos, and yet we
In
still
real
have to
life.
find peace within
Mm-hmm.
like all this chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the fact that they touched on so much shit, even health. I love the fact that they touched
Yes.
on health being one of those things where it's like, damn, sometimes most of us have to come around to answering to this thing sooner or later. These niggas was fucking
Mm-hmm. They
making,
turned to 50,
yeah,
and
they
now he's
making,
having a heart attack.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they
Right.
making broccoli and all this other shit in the
Mm-hmm.
motherfucking oven and shit. But I ain't even gonna hold you, but Merch was
Cauliflower.
cauliflower,
Merch.
right?
Yeah.
Merch was a little
Yeah.
bit different because this nigga went straight UFC fighter and shit.
UFC.
And
I,
Exactly.
that, yeah, he actually had a lot of growth too,
he
because I think
He
did.
he's
did
used to
because
being picked
he
on and the butt
picked
of
on.
jokes, and
Oh,
he's like
He wanted
over
to be
it. And
dominated. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
He wanted to
yeah,
be
And he didn't like
dominated.
the way he was portrayed in this
Yeah.
yes,
film,
In the
yeah,
film. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But
And
go
Go
then
ahead.
ahead,
being in
TJ.
MMA, I mean,
Yeah.
my answer was I did feel like it was a lot. It was like,
Mm-hmm.
dang, this is a lot. Dang, this is a lot. But do I feel like it was just like a lot of our social issues, but I was happy for it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why is I want to shed light to how Black people should be handling these things. You should not be ostracizing your kid because they are now LGBTQ or
Mm-hmm.
non-binary. And so I love the fact
Right.
that he allowed him to be himself at the end. I think that that was
Mm-hmm.
key for our Black community, because we're quick to ostracize gay people in our
Absolutely.
community. So I feel like that was a positive thing, and I'm happy that how it played out.
Hmm.
I wish that, you know, they allowed them to stay married. I hated the fact that they went through a divorce, but it shows that Black people, when going through, relationship issues, you seek help. You get
Hmm.
counseling, and you actually
And they
make
tried.
compromises. And they
Yes,
did,
they did
and they
try.
did
They did
try.
counseling.
Shit.
Yes.
Yeah, they did counseling, and then they were. You could tell like how she showed up for him, and then at his
He
movie
showed up
premiere, and he showed up for her.
for
Like, it was like
her.
them actually trying. I just wish that they could stick together and figure it out at the end, and just
Mm-hmm.
stay married, because marriages go through shit. You don't always have to get a divorce. Like, that's how I felt.
I
Um,
Absolutely.
I know I
Absolutely.
wanted a happy ending. That's the
I
yeah.
positive
know.
with
But I also
Gemini
feel like
and
but I
me.
also feel like it showed some marriages don't last, but
Right.
Yeah, but
how to
how do
get
we
over that, and how to be
co-parent,
co-parent and things
and
of that
allow,
nature.
the person to, like, and like you said, Mo, Harper knew that the little girl was just like Robyn,
Like her mom,
and he
yeah,
didn't want to
Robyn.
pull her away from her
Away from that.
mom.
She was her mother. She was an
Yeah.
image of her mother.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So
Go ahead.
go ahead.
You
That's
was
it.
No,
gonna say something, Flash?
no, I
Go
was just
ahead.
gonna say like throughout everything, I just feel like nobody ever completely gets what they want. Like
Right.
that's kind of
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
it's a common thing with everybody, and but yet you have to find growth through it, or find like you're still nuggets of happiness, whether that's through friends or family or whatever the case is. But yeah,
And
I
it's true.
I
And
enjoy it.
one little point, and then I'm gonna wrap us up.
Mhm.
Even and I'm thinking about it, like, even though Robyn blindsided Harper with the divorce, I just have to say this. Did Harper really want to be married? Because he was still up in Jordan's face and he was willing to fuck her if he given the opportunity.
Harper, Harper
What?
ain't
Your
fucker.
hat out is
Harper
hat
ain't fucker
about
though.
it.
He ain't
He did
fucker though.
not. I
What
said
is
he
with
was.
that tension? It's just
Yes, it's like
forever. It
No,
was a
because
lot.
there was something that needed to happen a long time
Happen.
ago,
Yeah.
and that way
Yep.
they wouldn't have this much tension.
Exactly. I agree.
And I think that's part of even why what's her name left the marriage anyway.
Robyn.
Yeah, because
Hmm.
I think she
She
understood like
knew. I think she understood.
yeah,
Yeah.
he still has this
Hmm.
place in his heart for her,
This
and that's
underlying
just
love
be
for
honest with
her.
it.
Yeah.
You know.
So
Underlying love
what
for
they
her.
gonna do with that though? You know what I'm
We going
saying? And
to
that's all right, but go
we gonna
ahead, Mo.
see. So our last, well, two more things. Do we feel that this is truly the final chapter? You said what they
Oh,
gonna do with that? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I just feel like it was so much
It's a lot of
unfinished
unsaid stuff.
business,
Yeah,
which was
that's like
what
the name of his book.
the book was called Unfinished Business.
right.
Uh-huh.
Definitely unfinished business between Jordan and Harper. Like, what the
Hmm.
fuck?
Right. We don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I
And
don't know. I don't. Maybe
like
it could
what?
be an episode because it was a series, but it was,
Mhm.
episode one of the series,
They called it the final
the
chapters.
final chapter.
So make a new book. Nigga,
Right.
like we
Okay.
can, that's
The
just
fine.
that
Maybe they can name it the final chapters, the extended edition. I have no
right.
idea.
No, part two.
The
Part
extender
two.
clip, something, man.
The
I
extended,
But
don't
yeah.
but no,
know.
I'm gonna be honest though. Part of me, even though I want to see what next happens for these
It just
characters,
needs,
at the
I
same
yeah.
want
time,
I
It
want
needs to
I
Jordan to
don't
end.
have
want
a
to see it
baby.
though. No,
Right, you
that's
don't.
the thing though.
Leave it where it
Because
is.
yeah, leave it where it is because I like the fact that now we've seen, you got to understand something. We've seen
Hmm.
these people from college. You've seen
Yes.
them to the 50s or whatnot. That is a we've seen three transitions of, and not even three because
Life,
I
yeah.
feel like the
Yeah.
series also grew like from COVID to 4 years,
Yes.
so even a little bit further
Yeah.
actually.
Uh-huh.
And I just feel like, damn, nigga, these niggas been through a lot. You gotta give these niggas a break at some point. Like they done
Yeah.
grown. We done seen a
Yeah.
lot of growth, and I feel like because we see ourselves in some of these characters,
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
like we want to know like
That's
what
exactly how I
happened.
feel. That's
Right.
exactly
Exactly.
how I
Yeah.
feel.
Right.
Because I could
Definitely.
see it like, if we put ourselves in those characters, I want to know
Right,
where they're at, when they become grandparents. Like
right,
it just
right.
follows, my life too. So,
Hmm.
okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So last but not least, what do you, from a ratings of 1 to 5? What do we rate? What do we rate the Best Man
Um,
final chapters?
Mm,
For me, I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I was happy to see how they
Hmm.
progressed throughout the years and where they are right now is very into that. I
right.
like that they incorporate a lot of things that could support the Black community and our people as a whole.
Hmm.
Even taking the psychedelics as friends, like I was like, that's
Nigga,
Yeah.
super
I
dope.
Yeah.
love
That
that
was.
shit.
I
I
love
love
that
that.
shit. That's like me and my friends right now. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So I can definitely
That was
see us in all
hilarious.
of the characters. But I don't like the fact that so much was left in the air.
That's what
Right,
Like,
that was
how
my
did
answer.
Lance deal with his son? How did, I
right.
know he accepted it, but to like what extent? You know what I mean? Like, did Jordan ever try to, like, now that she's, working on herself and, not working this stressful corporate job, is she going to have a baby? Is she going to even give it
Hmm.
a try with Harper? Is it even worth it to give it a try with
Travel
Harper?
Harper.
You know
Right.
what I mean? Are they going to
Mm.
be divorced forever? How is it going to work with Robyn
Robyn
and Harper,
Harper.
co-parenting in a different country. Like that's a lot. It's just a lot. Even with Quentin and Shelby, I just feel like, all right, they're like a fun ratchet couple and they still have their sophistication too. So they're definitely a sophisticated ratchet couple. But like
Hmm.
what's gonna happen with them? Like is he gonna do well? Is he gonna be
Is he going? Is he,
100%?
is he
Like
going to die because he over here popping
Right.
yes, it's
Viagra
the
and
second
shit?
time,
This
so
nigga throwing them shits back.
Right.
facts. All right, so
Yeah.
4 for me.
Flash.
That's 4 out of 5, TJ.
Yes,
Hmm.
4 out of 5
All right.
stars. Our
So
Ratchet Rope review ratings.
Hmm.
yeah, I agree with you. I can go with that. 4 out of 5. I
That's
think it
my
was
answer.
I love the cast. I love some of the jokes. I think most of the grunt work kind of came within the first 2 episodes, as far as
Grunt work.
as
Hmm.
far as like maybe where the series picked up from with the last and kind of just going from
Okay.
wedding, blah blah blah. I just feel like it
Mia
came in hot. It came
dying.
in hot, right? It just
Yeah,
came
it
in
came in
hot,
hot.
and then
Coming in hot.
we
He.
seen the transition, and part of me kind of wanted. I guess when I heard it was a series, I thought the series was going to be that whole maybe resort portion in the beginning. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I thought it was going to be just that era of the
Uh-huh.
characters and a scene, but they took it a little bit further.
Much further.
And because maybe some of the end is very ambiguous, I kind of like that. I'm gonna be honest. I like the fact that we don't know what's gonna happen to these characters when they're 60, 65.
Yeah.
But at the same time, no, we don't want to see that shit. Like,
I do.
I
I
don't want to
do.
see it. I don't want to see it.
I
But
do.
some of the I like some of the acting. Some of the acting in the beginning maybe was like to me,
Like
but
who? Who?
I didn't feel like
Shelby?
yeah, I feel like
Mer-
Shelby and Merch mainly. I feel like in the beginning, but then maybe because of his transition, I loved his growth. So maybe I just didn't like it in the beginning.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
definitely his character, though. That's been his
Yeah,
character. Like,
Right.
not really one of the masculine boys. That's why
right.
you
Mhm.
had this girl running all over you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You
Right.
finally find this like perfect, nice girl that is a stripper, but she's, trying to
mm,
put herself through college. And you
Right.
have to have, a lot of confidence to be with the stripper. Because you remember, like,
Exactly.
even Quentin's
Yeah.
dad was like, "Oh, you the one that married the stripper." He's
yeah,
like,
Yeah.
"Whoa,
yeah.
she's a PhD, like
Yeah. Absolutely.
the mother of
Well,
my
my
child." Go ahead, Mom.
Right. I'm gonna do this quick to wrap us up. My ratings is a 4 out of 5. I loved it. Anybody
Right.
that knows me knows that The Best Man is one of my favorite movies
It is
of all
it's our
time.
favorite
Yes,
bestie.
I can recite the first movie line by line, word for
Me
word.
Wow.
I
too. We both
absolutely
can.
love. Yeah, we both. I loved it. I love that movie. I would have liked to see. I do kind of want to see how it ended, like where everybody ended
Yeah.
up. But I'm still grateful that they did the final chapters, so I'm happy
Mm-hmm.
about that. And I'm unfortunately, guys, I have to wrap us up. I have
It's
to wrap
over
us up. This
already. I
No.
episode
love
of
Ratchet
I
Rope
love this episode.
No.
Review.
Give him
This
Okay, I
more.
can
episode,
take off
Give him
my Shelby
more.
glasses.
this
What's
episode
the
of
main
Ratchet
character?
Robe Review was amazing. TJ,
It
take
was
us out. We
good.
gotta go, Tribe. We love you.
Tribe.
Mhm.
Thank you. What's your rating? What's your Ratchet Rope
Yeah.
review
Yes.
rating? What would you give it? Go
How
ahead
many
and drop your
robes?
stars. Drop your
Or
stars
stars, whatever the
in
fuck
Exactly.
the
y'all rated by.
chat. Is it 3 stars? Is it 4 stars? Is it 5 stars? Is it 1 star? And let us know why. And you want to answer any of the questions, let us know your answers to any of the questions. Why it was yes, no, or sophisticatedly ratchet. But anyway, thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Ratchet Row Review on YouTube
Mhm.
at So Ratchet Space Podcast. We are a podcast. It's called the Sophisticatedly Ratchet Podcast. We air new episodes every Wednesday, everywhere you hear podcasts: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
Talk about
Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon
Mhm.
has podcasts. And then you can connect with us on social media. We're on IG at So Ratchet Podcast. We're on TikTok at So Ratchet Podcast. We're on Twitter at So Ratchet Pod. And here on YouTube, we are at So Ratchet Space Podcast. Hit the like button right now. Hit the follow
Thank
button right now. The notifications button right now. Hit the
Absolutely.
share button right now. Share us
Yep.
with a friend. All the buttons right now. Give us
Hit
some
all of them. Hit all
love.
of
We
them.
love you,
Mhm.
tribe. You are
We
part of
love
the
you. Thanks
tribe.
for listening.
What character do you represent or
Mm.
relate to the
Thanks.
most? Mwah. Deuces.
Send us your
Later.
review. Peace.